it to be too long. Just because we're going to be eating lunch soon.
I'll be there when I'll be there. You guys go ahead. Okay, so you're probably wondering why my wife, Jess, dropped me off on the side of the road in St. Martin's, and it's a valid question. We're out here to meet up with some friends and have some lunch, and it's a Sunday today. It's a beautiful day. Finally, it seems like spring is coming. I hope you guys can hear me, by the way. It's very windy here, right on the Bay of Fundy, but I've been feeling a little bit down this weekend. Not totally depressed or anything, just low energy. I had a busy week at work, and this is my way of filling my cup. I gave so much of my energy to my employer that my weekend turned into this kind of like mode. No energy, right? I wasn't really feeling great. So I want to make sure that I get out here and I fill my cup. Do something for me that's going to help me stay on the path, bright skies, clear mind, and just feeling good, because we got to do it all over again starting tomorrow. So wanted to share something with you guys that I've learned along the path, along the journey. I wanted to share it because I think you might be able to find value from it as well. Let's go. I think this is actually the first time that we've been back to St. Martin since, like, geez, I don't know, was it Christmas time area? I don't remember. I think it was, because my brother was here. And where I'm standing here, this is sort of like the main road right in front of the caves. This was all flooded, and we were having a serious panic in the car because we didn't know if we were going to make it through. It was that bad.
This is crazy.
Okay guys, this is crazy. This is where we were a few days ago, and it's all flooding now. Oh my gosh, look at this. Is this normal?
No.
You've never seen it like this?
Look at it coming under the restaurant. Oh, look, this road is flooded.
No, I was feeling risky that day. Now that I think of it, I'm like, wow, that water was actually pretty deep. We could have got stuck. I guess it's not an adventure until something goes wrong, right? And I'm definitely always on the lookout for adventures. Okay, gotta love these Canadian springs, eh? My hands are only half numb, so I will put the gloves on for this. So what is this thing that I want to share with you guys? And I'm deciding right now whether I should tell you the long version or the short version, but I think I'll tell you the longer version, so bear with me here. My journey on this path, the spiritual path, for lack of a better term, I guess it begins for all of us when we're born, for sure. But for me, and what I'm referring to is, when did I become conscious of this path? When did I actually start paying attention and becoming interested in self-development, mindfulness, spirituality, pursuit of enlightenment, like whatever you want to call it. Everyone has different names for it. For me, it started when I was about 25 or 26 years old. I was about at the midway of my hockey career. I was playing in what would be my second last season in the American Hockey League. And I was going through a lot, not only with my hockey career, but also with my girlfriend at the time, wife now, Jess, who you guys know very well. And my friend, a good friend of mine, still a very good friend of mine to this day, put me onto this book. And the book was called The Monk Who Sold His Ferrari. And this book it's a pretty famous self-development book by Robin Sharma. Gotta be careful not to say shawarma. I want to say Robin Shawarma so bad, but it's Robin Sharma. And this book, it's basically like an entry-level beginner's book into mindfulness and spirituality, but it came at the perfect time. And to paraphrase it, to give you the Cole's notes of this book, it's about a lawyer. It's a fictional book, but it's about a lawyer, like a high stakes, really badass, high paid lawyer who's living an extremely stressful life, but he's he's running, gunning, he's in the rat race, he's making a lot of money, but he becomes victim to this lifestyle. He has a stroke, and for him it's this sort of a life life-changing moment, you know, like it probably would be for you and I. And he ends up going to India and meeting some monks, and he learns from these monks. And this book isn't a Buddhist book per se, but it's definitely steeped in Buddhism. But it's basically an intro to mindfulness. And it actually includes some different practices which you can take into your everyday life. For example, one of them is I think they used a pen in the book, but take a pen, and you can do this, try this out yourself, but take a pen and just stare at the pen and set a timer for like 5 minutes or 3 minutes or even 2 minutes, and stare at the pen and contemplate the pen and just think about the pen in a way you probably wouldn't have normally. Like, observe what type of pen it is. What does the tip look like? What does it have a clip? Is there little markings from wear and tear where that pen has rubbed up against something hard and it's created some markings or some grooves? Like, really think about this pen deeply. Now, there's some of you guys probably think this is hilarious, but the point of it is to train your mind to focus on something for a period of time. And this is basically an introduction to meditation. More on that later. I guess to sum it up, this book really opened my mind to a new way of thinking, and it had a profound impact on me. I remember vividly, at the time I was into spirituality, but I didn't really know what I was. To me, spirituality was like Christianity, you know. That's because that in the Western world is, especially before like that big boom of internet, like that's all I was really exposed to. So that's kind of what I went with. I was in this group that was associated or linked to the team called Hockey Ministries, and to sum that up, it's basically a chaplain who comes to the rink like once a week. It's totally voluntary. Whoever wants to go can go, and there's usually 5, 6, 7 people on the team who are into this type of thing. And you would read a passage from the Bible, and you would talk about it as a group. And even though I wasn't like a hardcore Christian, I found value in talking about things more in depth, you know, below the surface, not always the surface talk, which as you go down this path, you become more and more annoyed with, because there's so many beautiful, profound, deep things to talk about, and you realize talking about the weather is just, okay, it has its place. But I remember being at one of these meetings, these chapels, I forget what we called them, and sharing an experience with the group. And it was actually funny because they looked at me like I had 4 heads or something, but I used to walk the same route to the rink every day. And after I read this book, I started to pay attention to things on this route that I haven't before. And it was spring at the time. I remember it very vividly, and it's spring now, and the trees were just all coming into bloom, like these cherry blossom style trees. I don't know what the type of tree it was, but it was a tree that if you've ever seen a cherry blossom, it's like, wow, it's a moment. It was a tree that gave you that type of feeling. And I remember seeing it, and I remember stopping and just looking at this tree like, wow, that's unreal. That tree is gorgeous. Like, I couldn't believe my eyes. And I started to look at basically everything like that. And the world just became a lot more interesting to me, and I became a lot more grateful for the mundane experiences such as that, walking to the rink and noticing these little things that I never noticed before. But the guys who I was telling this to weren't sharing my enthusiasm for the mundane. But what happened after, and what continues to happen, is I went down this path of obsessing over self-help and personal development, self-actualization, spirituality, spiritual development, all of those, you know, words, buzzwords even, that fall under that umbrella. And I read over this time just countless books by this point on topics. You know, I'm just very interested in acquiring knowledge. And what I've noticed through reading all these books is that I've recognized the patterns. There are patterns here, and they all seem to be saying the same thing, just packaged in a different way. So we are at the meat of the video. Okay, if you made it to this point, thank you for hanging on. I'm going to tell you what I've discovered over this period. So as I was saying, there are patterns here. Okay, I've come up with sort of 5 pillars of wellness. I don't know if that's, to me, this is an original thought for me. Of course, you've probably heard these things before and you've probably practiced a lot of them, but I have these 5 things that I follow in my personal life, and I found that if I am doing 4 out of the 5, if I'm doing 5 out of the 5, I'm thriving. I'm feeling at my best. I feel like I'm levitating through life. I feel that good. If I'm doing 3 out of 5, I'm feeling good. I'm doing all right. My mental health is good. I'm where I need to be, okay? If I slip below 3, if I'm doing 1, 2, or even none, I'm suffering. Plain and simple, I'm suffering. And I'm aware of this now, okay? That's part of the mindfulness practice, is just becoming aware of how you're feeling and not necessarily letting those feelings control you, okay? Sort of like a paper boat in the ocean. You know, the ocean, your emotions are basically gonna rock that paper boat any which way it wants to go. But what if you can just hover above the surface of the water and just watch those emotions, watch that water just go, rah, 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 rah. And they don't really affect you in the same way, okay? Mindfulness means you become an observer of your emotions. Okay, so number 1, food and water. Food and water. This isn't a surprise. I'm not telling you guys anything profound. We know we need to eat well. I know I need to eat well. Okay, so whatever eating well means for you, that's what you do. And I'm not saying, hey, eating well for me means eating Crispers every day. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, don't get hung up on the diet. There's a million different diets. There's a million different papers saying why this diet is the best. And on the contrary, there's a million papers that saying why that diet is absolute dog shit. You have to look within, try different things. You'll notice, guys, what you feel good eating. Your body will tell you. Okay? Your body will tell you. Pay attention to how you're feeling when you eat certain things. You'll notice your thoughts will change. You eat shitty food, your thoughts will be shitty. You eat healthy food, your thoughts will be healthy and clean and clear. Stick to whole foods, stay away from processed foods, stay away from junk. I'm not saying don't eat junk. Eat junk sometimes. Live a little. 80-20 is the rule that I try to go by. 8 out of 10 times I'm gonna be eating quality whole foods. Okay, things that come from the earth, plant-based foods. I still eat chips. I like chips, but I'm not eating chips all the time. So you don't have to be rigid and strict about this, but just spend more of your time eating quality foods. I'm not gonna go into what those are because we know what they are already. Water is another huge thing. Huge. I personally try to aim over 3 liters a day. When I was playing hockey, I would aim for the full gallon. You guys would be shocked. I don't know if you've paid attention to how water affects your body. I actually didn't notice this until about halfway through my hockey career. I didn't know that I needed to drink more water. I didn't realize that those days that I went to the rink and I was feeling sluggish, it's actually because I was dehydrated. It wasn't because I played a game the night before. Started drinking water that last half of my career, almost a gallon a day. That's what I would aim for. My God, it's insane how good you feel. Your energy levels are through the roof. You skyrocket. You can see it. You can see it when you look in the mirror. Your skin is clear. It's glowing. Your hair is better. Your breath is better. Water has a huge, huge impact on our bodies. I'm not telling you guys anything you probably don't already know, but there's number 1, food, water. Number 2, sleep. Sleep. We need quality sleep. 6 or 7 hours of quality sleep is better than 12 hours of shitty sleep. How do we get quality sleep? This took some practice for me, but now I know I personally need to have a wind down period at night. It's not just watch Netflix. Okay, I'm gonna go lay in bed now with my phone, another screen. That's not how you wind down properly for bed. Maybe it works for you. If it does, good for you. For me, definitely doesn't work. I like to do a little bit of reading before bed. Reading is great. I really just love to read before bed. It relaxes me. After that, go into meditation. And pro tip, I make sure I brush my teeth and wash my face and do all that stuff before I do the meditation. The meditation is gonna just relax you at another level you probably haven't experienced before. You'll go into bed and you will just out like a light and you'll sleep deep. And the best part about having deep sleeps is that you don't need as much sleep. Okay, so don't get in the habit of only sleeping 4 hours a night because you did your nighttime routine. Not what I'm saying at all. Just saying important to get quality sleep. Sleep is a spectrum. You can have super high quality sleep where you need less, and then you can have a lot of sleep, but it's really bad sleep and you're still gonna feel tired the next day. So sleep, very important. Number three, movement. We have to move our bodies. Our bodies want to move. They are meant to move. And if you are lucky enough to have a healthy body that is functioning, do not take that for granted. Do not take that for granted, folks. Use it, okay? Talk to your friends. I know we all have at least that one friend who's a crazy gym nut and they go to the gym all the time. Talk to that person and get them to tell you how they feel when they go to the gym, as opposed to those times maybe they're in a period where they're not in the gym every single day, and they'll tell you the difference. You will feel so much better when you're getting some exercise, moving your body, getting your heart rate up. Don't overthink this. Don't be sitting there thinking right now, oh no, I gotta go sign up for Good Life tomorrow. You don't have to do that. I'm a former professional athlete. I don't go to the gym anymore. I go to the gym once in a while. I would like to go to the gym more, but it's just, I haven't made it a priority in my life. That doesn't mean I don't move. I keep it simple. Push-ups, body weight squats. I'll throw the back leg up on the couch and get into a lunge position and do some lunges, bang out 10 to 20 of those and see how you're feeling. My personal favorite is just walking, going for walks, putting in your headphones, listening to a podcast, an audiobook. Walking is great. It doesn't have to be complicated, Sometimes we think of moving, it has to be this big, huge ordeal. It really doesn't. Keep it simple. Simple is best, because when it's simple, that means you're gonna do it more, okay? Try to remove all the friction. Get those ideas that you gotta go get a new pair of running shoes out of your head, or new gym clothes, or sign up at a fancy gym. And all that stuff is great, but keep it simple. If it's simple, you're gonna do it. Okay. Number 4 is meditation. Meditation has become mainstream. It really has in the last handful of years, and for good reason. There's scientific proof now showing the benefits of meditation. These monks have been sitting in meditation for millennia, and it's people don't really want to believe it until there's some paper, or some person like Oprah is telling you how good meditation is. Meditation is great, guys. It really is. I find a huge difference in my life when I'm meditating and when I'm not meditating. It took a while for me to get to a point where I'm meditating every single day. It's become a habit now. It's not something I even think about. It's just like, I actually look forward to it now, especially that nighttime meditation. I'm like, can't wait to get into that state of clarity, clearing the mind and just feeling at peace with the day. And then I'm ready for bed. Meditating in the morning is also great. Okay, get ready for the day, center yourself, ground yourself. There's different ways to do meditation. You can do mantras meditation. A lot of people like to do mantras. You can just count your breath. That's probably the easiest thing to do, is just sit there and count your breath. I know a lot of people think meditation is some really, advanced thing, and it's not at all. I've heard so many people say, oh, I want to meditate, but I just can't. My mind is like, blah, blah. That's the whole point. That is the whole point. And don't think that you're going to be able to sit down the first day in meditation and totally clear your mind and have some type of samadhi experience or kundalini awakening or something of that nature. It's not going to happen. Your mind is going to go 1,000 places. Even when you've been meditating for years, your mind is still going to go in 100 different places. Meditation is at its core about recognizing that your thoughts are happening and just watching them. Watch them. Watch your thoughts just like you watch the clouds go by in the sky, right? Imagine you're sitting there on the beach just like this and looking up, and you're seeing the clouds go by in the sky. Those are your thoughts. That's what you do in meditation. Notice that you're thinking about all that stuff that you really don't need to be thinking about or worrying about, and come back to the breath. Think about your breath. Try to count them, Play little games with yourself that way. Meditation is great. Personally, life changer for me. Hope you guys try it out. Okay, and the last one. Let me just check if I'm still recording. Okay, I'm still recording. The last one is content. In this one, guys, it's so big. It is so big. Content. You know how people say we are what we eat? Well, we are what we take in. Our thoughts become what we take in. If you're listening to, or you're taking in through form of audiobook, podcast, whatever you're watching on Netflix, whatever you're watching on TV, whatever it is you do to basically burn time, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, whatever it is you do, that stuff is all having an effect on your subconscious mind. And your subconscious mind is developing your default thoughts. How can I explain this? Have you ever noticed when you are reading something really cool that moved you, or you watched some awesome movie, or you're hooked on some show, and it seems to be always coming up when you're meeting with your friend? You know, it's like, oh, that movie, I want to tell my friend about this movie. It's had such an impact on me. Okay, so I would consider that a default thought. So those are thoughts that are just coming out of thin air, you know, and they come into the forefront of your mind and you just want to say them out loud, your default thoughts, or maybe not even say them out loud, things that just play in your mind, like, wow, I suck, I'm awful, I can't do anything, I don't deserve this. Those are default thoughts. What if your default thoughts were, I'm strong, I'm inspired, I'm beautiful, I can do anything that I put my mind to? You'd feel a lot better going through life, right? I know myself, I would much rather hear the latter than the former. And I've heard the latter and I've heard the former, and I know I thrive when it's the positive thoughts that are my default thoughts. So how do you get those default thoughts to come through to the surface? It all starts with our content, okay? We need to be watching things, reading things, listening to things that are inspiring, that help us learn about the world, others, ourselves. The other type of content is, to me, filler content, and it could be negative content. Or I was standing in the shower just the other week and I had a default thought come to the surface, and it was of this like video from Barstool Sports. Why am I even following Barstool Sports? Barstool Sports is awesome, so entertaining, but it's so trashy. So trashy. Why do I even need to be seeing these videos? I should unfollow them. I'm going to. But that thought, I can't remember what the exact video was. It was something so idiotic. I'm like, why is this even in my head right now? And I was disappointed in myself for even, it was out of my control, but I was totally disappointed in myself. But I realized that was in my head. That became a default thought because that's what I was doing earlier in the day or the day before. Lately, I've been reading a book called The Tao Te Ching by Lao Tzu. Some of you guys might have heard of it before. Most of you probably haven't, but Lao Tzu is the founder of Taoism. I find this so interesting, and it's totally flooded my subconscious mind, and I'm totally looking at the world through the lens of Taoism, and it's really fun. I'm having a lot of fun experiencing the world that way. So that's the flavor of the month or the week or the year or whatever, maybe the rest of my life. Right now, I'm really enjoying it. I, just a few weeks ago, made a video about it, watched Free Solo. That just stirred up the adventurous spirit that's in me. It made me feel so inspired, so adventurous, so like, it just filled me. It filled me up with life, you know? And that's what was playing in the background of my mind, my subconscious for weeks now. And it's been just so great to now have that filter on my mind, and that's how I'm seeing the world. I don't know if this part, number 5, is making sense to you. I hope it is. But our content is so key. Listen to stuff, watch stuff, read stuff that's gonna make you feel awesome, make you feel like the awesome person that you are. So if you made it to this point in the video, thank you so much. I hope you found value out of this. I wanted to make this video for a long time now, and I'm glad the day finally came. And just want to say thank you to everyone for the support. Thank you for watching, especially if you made it to this point. If you are new here, consider subscribing, liking the video, you know, all the YouTube stuff. If you guys found value in the video, you like our videos, you've been rocking with us for a while, please consider becoming a patron. Link is in the description below. Easy way to show some love to us, guys. It's like buying us a coffee once a month. That'd be great. Appreciate you guys, love you guys, and I hope you have a great day. Okay, I gotta go catch up to Jess. She's gonna be,